Hey, what's up, everybody?
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You talk about me, okay?
You don't get
Go
out
ahead.
much, do you? Oh
No.
boy,
Go.
bad idea. So that's so this one we're gonna talk about how we met. You know, I know it's odd. Some of y'all know us. You know us for years, but how we met it was strange. I was
Very strange.
yeah. I was in a baby pool and I was drowning. And no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I was gonna say, man, I remember this.
No, wait, I'm the one that could swim. You couldn't. But anyway, but
Yeah, that's weird.
yeah, it all started when we went to. It was a church we went to, and well, actually, I didn't go to at the time, but the church bands would come in the neighborhood where I stayed and pick up Chad and Annie, and they would always be in a van. I'd be like, that looks fun, but I never did say anything. So, one day, Joy from across the street, remember her? She had came and knocked on my door, and we had the door open, and you could look right in the house. And I was hiding in the kitchen. I was like trying to hide behind the refrigerator. And she was like, "You want to come to church with us?" And I was like, "I guess." And then I ended up going, and it was pretty fun. It was this goofy kid with a big red coat on, named Keith.
That was me.
Yeah, it was him, and for some reason we just clicked and became good friends from there. And man, that was when you was 14, I was 17, man. And now we're in our 20s, so.
But just think about it, that what was really weird is how they grabbed the little white boy from the projects and took me to church in a van down by the river. No, I was playing. But just to how they moved us, got us from the projects and took us to church.
Yeah. I don't think people don't really do that nowadays. They're not, riding around vans and picking people up and stuff like that, It's crazy, but, then we just became good friends there and stuff and, throughout the years. And, man, the one thing that I knew you was a true friend is when, later on my mom kicked me out and, I had nowhere to go. And you had a purple car.
Yeah.
And you stayed out and you actually got in trouble for staying out and, just riding around, making sure I was safe and stuff, man. And I was like, this is what a true friend looked like. Even though that time where we parked in the parking lot where my mom stayed, and my mom let me on, then I was looking at Keith in the car and he was asleep. I was like,
I stayed up all night long.
He did.
Riding around, keeping him safe in the car. Well, just keep both.
Now remember, he was from the project. I was from like lower middle class. Go figure, but that's how it worked.
Well, I stayed up all night riding around, but I let him drive because I was tired.
Yeah.
So I woke up in the passenger seat in his parents' parking lot,
Yeah.
and he in the house.
Yeah, hey, I was ruthless back then. Give me a break. I was like, I had a reputation. I was trying to be cool, but I wasn't. But I was like, this dude, man, I was like, this is a true friend. And, and I remember being out there and when you stayed in the projects and us sitting in the car and you finally found out about your dad, after searching for years, and then you found out that he had lived behind you. And I remember how that broke you. And, we were just sitting there and you said, you was crying, you said, if I ever become a parent, my kids are going to know who I am. You was going to be there for them. And I can say, with your two kids, you that's evidence that you did do that, man. And that's one thing I'm very proud about, is that
Bing.
I know, right? Oh, the audience member, y'all need to calm down out there.
Hey, sit down!
I know, right? Yeah, no, the bathroom's over there. No, but so, when you did that, man, and you held true and you would see it on Facebook, and man, I'm proud of you, man, for doing that, man. So, and that's cool. But that's how it started, man. And then, what was cool about when I got saved, what's cool is it was when God was working with me in my life, this is years later, about 10 years later, when God was working with me and I told you, I said, man, I never do you wrong. The stuff that did God saved me. Like, you got to leave him alone. I said, but I just told him 2 weeks ago, and I had to, and it was part of God's plan, because then it was like 8 months God was teaching me and, molding me. And then I was working at Corporate Express, and then I was like, through God, he moved me up in that position. And it was like, they said you need to hire somebody. And it was like, God, like, Keith. And I was like, cool. And then, you know, went to Tim Agency and you worked out there and, you know, and through that event, you end up getting saved out there. You know, I still remember that because what's funny is where I was standing when you went outside to sit on that porch and that's where I got saved. And for you to get saved right around, you know, right there that was awesome.
It was a magical moment in time. But going back to when you had to let go of me because I wasn't living right, you couldn't put yourself in that position around me where I can mess you up in your Christianity life at that time is still mind blowing. That you have to let go of friends to move forward. You can't stick around with the same people you ran with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And God knew how much I cared for Keith because he was always there for me. But it was like in due time. You know, God had to get me straight so I could handle that. Because if I was around you then, I wasn't strong enough to, you know, keep you up because we both clicked and, you know, you probably would drag me down. So God had to work with you without me there, and he was working with me. So it just came up being perfect. And, you know, and man, such a blessing, man. You know, after all these years, you know, we still friends, man. You know, we don't have to talk all the time, but when we do, it's just like we never missed a beat or anything like that. And for some of y'all that know, you know, the stories we got, you know, when we became Christians, you know, that's why we're doing this, is because when we became Christians, we didn't want to be regular. You know, it's like we had that girl Heather, you know, had that was disease or something, but she, you know, she couldn't really go to concerts and stuff. So with me, you and Jeff, you know, who was our third person, who was like DC Talk back there. Of course, I was a black guy.
I was a white guy.
Yeah, you and Jeff, because both y'all white. It was obvious, but especially when the cops came. But but you know, and during those times, we used to go to concerts and stuff. And we used to, you know, you were the cameraman was magic, man. Just how you done stuff and stuff. And we used to go to concerts and we, you know, used to get them, you know, the famous Christian artists to say, you know, encouraging things for Heather and stuff. And that's the thing that's missing today is we have, you know, in churches you have people who can't go places, but you don't have the people in the group going to like concerts that they can't go, and them making a way up to the artist and saying, hey, can you give a shout out to our friend who can't make it or nothing like that. And I'm like, why not? It's just like, I don't know, God gave us a passion and love for people that we just went out and just started loving people, man. And it's just crazy, man. And that's just, it's dead today. It's just everybody just, all they want to do is sit in church and just, you know, afterwards go to Starbucks and get coffee and just not really be an impact on people. It's just, it's sad because it's a dying world out there and it's like they don't care. Let me do my thing and you know, be done with it. So.
I totally agree. In the end times, it says that it would be, what, self-indulging?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be all about self.
Loving themselves.
Yeah. And not worried about what everybody else is doing and what they're going through. I can see that.
You notice how today, how crazy the Bible relates to today. Because Jesus had what, followers, right? What do everybody want nowadays? Followers. People out there with more followers than Jesus. Where do you lead them to? You know, that's crazy. It's horrible. So this is why we do what we do. You know, we have fun and stuff, but it's just kind of a little serious one because, you know, it just shows you that, you know, you got friends out there. If God tells you to leave them alone until that time comes. But, you know, God ain't work with them. What are you doing with them? You know, and so, and it broke me, like I said, to leave you alone. But look where you're at now, you know. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to see, man. I really appreciate you and I love you. You know, what you done for me, that's why you can always hit me up, man. And, you know, when life happens, you know, we're going to be there for each other. Like, I made sure that, you know, we didn't know when it was going to happen. It happened this past year. But I was like, you know, when your mom passed, I was going to be there regardless. You know, I always saved one vacation day for a moment like that. And when it happened, and by the grace of God, when I told my job, I said, my best friend, mom died. The funeral's on this date. And they're like, okay. There was no questions. And it wasn't nothing going to stop me from being there. That meant the world to me to be there for you during that time.
It meant the world to me too.
Yeah, and that's what true friendship is about. And the Bible talks about, no greater love than this, and lay down his life for a friend. Don't mean you're gonna be like, here come a bullet, let me jump in your way. No, it means, you know what, I have life going on, let me stop it. Let me lay down what life is going on, let me be there for my friend. And that's what I had to do. I laid down my life, to be there for my friend. And that's one thing that we need to start doing in today's world. So
Blessings.
definitely, because it's all about love and being there for people. That's how we hear from Christ. That's why I don't have like dogs and all that kind of stuff, because honestly, I like to take that time to spend in prayer, so you can hear somebody who's crying out and check on people. They always say, oh, check on strong friends when something happens. We're going to wait till somebody else die before we start, hey, check on your strong friends for the next 3 or 4 days. And, that same cycle. Or you're just going to be a random Tuesday in March or whatever, that you just be like, let me see how they doing. And with social media and stuff, it takes 2 seconds to reach out. It ain't like back in the day. I'm going to write this person a letter, and maybe they'll write back and I'll get it sometime next week. My dearest friend Keith, how's life over there in the trails? Yeah, mailman, can you come get this, please? Thank you. Oh, I need a stamp. Oh, geez, you gonna be here tomorrow? Okay. It wasn't like that. It just takes 2 seconds to reach out to somebody through text or, something. So, and in fact, I know right now that some of y'all probably thinking that somebody need to reach out to. So, do it. Hey, you right there. Yeah, do it. Go ahead. Why not? What you waiting on?
That's weird. I thought you was talking to me.
Why'd I talk to you right there? If I reach out to you, oh, I about hit you. My fault. My fault, man. My fault.
I only saw it coming out this eye.
Oh, didn't see it, huh? Oh, and see, that's what's so cool about this. Keith passing, you know what he's going through with his eye. He's still passionate about wanting to do this. That first show, that had happened that week that his eye started acting up, and he was still like, let's do this, man. I was like, you want to put up? No, let's do this. So that's just love he got for people, and this love for Christ, man. So just man, and I keep him in prayer. Instead of playing that with a puppy, and I sit there and I get my prayer clause and I pray for people. It's just that simple. And if I don't get frustrated and be like, oh, I don't have this and that. I just spend that time praying, and I do other stuff like play video games and whatnot. But when it's time for like that, I just pray for people and stuff. So, anything else you want to add or whatnot?
We love y'all.
We do, and and another thing too, if you want to reach out to us, you can reach us out through social media, message us to pray for you or whatnot. And I'm glad you said that. That reminds me too. This thing is not just gonna be this. We're gonna, we want to get people that, if you're gifted and good at, videoing, or maybe, be like, hey, writers or whatnot, even people who can act or come up with ideas for plays and stuff. We want all that. Guys, girls, want to start doing it for a podcast. If you're good at being a podcast and you're a Christian, you can help us. You can be in charge of that. And that, we can do podcasts and stuff. And, eventually we're going to go into doing skits and stuff. Some serious and some fun. You got these skit guys doing it, why not us? You got to start from somewhere.
We're going big.
That's right. And it ain't about us. It's about making Jesus known. Because it's all about him. It ain't about beans and rice. It's about Jesus Christ. That's right.
Got me on that one. I was going to say steak and rice.
That's right. You can't rap, I can't neither separate.
Beans and rice, steak and rice.
No, it's not about beans and rice. It's about Jesus Christ. You see how it rhymes? See, let me tell you. I'm sorry. I forgot we were doing this. But, we just got to get together with people and do all kinds of stuff. And if you have any ideas that you want to do that, you know, you feel like we need to touch on, message us. We're not going to be like Susie from Kentucky said. No, we're just going to, you know, get it out there because
I don't even know it, Susie.
the one down the street. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, we're just gonna just do stuff like that, and just, you know, because a lot of people are scared to say stuff, but we don't. We don't care. We don't care. We're the axe boys. We don't care what they're gonna do to us. Tell us not to come. Okay. We'll get into that one day too about how God just did a movement through us. So stay tuned. Keith, you all right? It's still there. All right, so I think that's it. What do you think? All right.
Yeah.
Till next time, I'm Tarek.
I'm Keith.
Peace.
Da, 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 da,
He don't get out
da, da.
much.